Welcome back to Cross Reddit. This week we are going to discuss the SMX Round 1 playoffs that happen out in Charlotte. But first, I'm your host, Eric Nichols, and with me, my co-host, Justin Reese. What's up, Justin?
What's up? The two ones here, the consistent ones. Yeah.
That's right. Someone's got to have some dedication, right? Well, let's
Yeah,
go.
right. We gotta we eat and breathe the sport. Some of us just got families that are actually busy. Our kids are just young enough to where we don't have to do that shit yet.
Right, yeah. All right, well, as always, let's go ahead and start off with our developing stories. So the first one that I wanted to talk about was word came out that the Starks are now officially going to be able to race in the World Supercross. Um, Justin, what do you think? Are you excited to see the Starks in here, or do you think that no, they need to stay out? They need to be in their own class. They shouldn't be racing the gas bikes.
I mean, I think it's good to see another manufacturer and play. I just think with the electric, you got to have some type of limit. There's got to be a threshold that AMA, well, obviously it's FIM, so they got to have some type of threshold to limit some of these bikes because it looks like some of them are even going to be in like the 250 class, I think I saw.
Hmm.
So there's got to be some type of limit they're putting on there. And I guess I saw something, there's 36 sensors or something they're going to be using to monitor everything. So it'd be interesting to see what their parameters they're setting are compared to an actual bike, gas bike. But I think it's good for the sport. I mean, it's another team, it's another brand, and it's more riders getting paid to line up.
Yeah, and to me, I mean, we saw them race head to head in an arena cross. To me, the elite riders are still going to win, right? You're not going to see we'll say someone like a Mitchell Harrison all of a sudden start winning main events against Tomac, Jet, and these guys, right? Like, yeah, it might help get them a few more spots, but at the end of the day, it's still talent that these guys have, and these guys will win on anything. So, sure, it's an advantage, but I don't think it's going to be much of an advantage where it's going to shake up the point that the results at the top at all. I think it's just going to help the privateers really. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm totally down to see it, and it sounds like they are going to lock their bikes to whatever horsepower. And yeah, I mean, it's just another element and something exciting to look forward to. Um,
Yeah, I think I mean if you look at it, I think the only real advantage I guess I could really see is the starts. I mean that
yeah,
electric power out of the starts is huge. But like you said in an arena cross, you're still having the gas bike beat the electric bikes, I think
yeah,
probably almost 8 out of 10 times,
yeah.
It's still rider based. It's not all bike.
Right, yeah. There's still technique that's gonna, play a factor, of course. All right, well, going into the weekend, a couple of big names that ended up missing. Malcolm to start, he ended up going down during the practice session. That's a bummer because he was one of two guys that finished every race. But the big story coming out, which we were on it way back in June. Prado ends up sitting out of SMX2, which is basically that's just the end for him and Kawasaki. And to be honest, Justin. I'm good. I'm glad this was happened. If I was Kawasaki, there's no way in hell I'm gonna let Prado go out there and try not to qualify or make my brand look, even worse. But what do you think about Prado backing out?
I don't know if it's Prado backing out. I think it's Cowie telling him sit out. After everything, he's blasted the brand nonstop pretty much. He hasn't taken any responsibility for himself. It's always the bike didn't have enough power, the bike I can't do this, the bike that. Even to the fact that the engine builder is responding in Instagram comments. You just can't be having that as a factory rider. I mean, yeah, I get you can bash the bike a little, but also the giving up in motos is not because of the bike. The not trying to qualify is not because of the bike. That's you, yourself. It says a lot about your character. You're just quitting and giving up. And for Cowie, I think the best thing they could do is tell them we're not going to support you no more. Go kick rocks because we don't want someone like that riding for our brand because it makes our brand look bad.
Yeah, man, I think we talked about it last show. Prado is also out for Motocross of Nations, so his whole plan of put me on my old bike, let me show that it's me, that's completely out the window. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna just next time we're gonna see him race is probably gonna be at Anaheim 1, and we know that Supercross is not a strong suit of his either. But I mean, hey, we'll see. The last thing I want to talk about before we get into the racing was his track design, Justin. You've been pretty vocal. You didn't really like these drag strips, and you're actually
Oh,
pretty impressed.
hey,
Hey, look who it
yeah,
is.
yeah. A lot of these drag strip tracks, can kind of be a little funky and not allow for good racing. But I actually like the way this one turned out. I think they did a really good job mixing it up. That Supercross rhythm section was really causing problems. That outdoor section was deep, had a bunch of different lines. If you made a mistake, you were screwed. So I did really like the track layout in Charlotte. So I'll eat my words and admit I do like this one.
Yeah, I mean, this track ended up being tough. I mean, we saw guys going down left and right. Sounds like they got a lot of rain, which made those transitions, pretty technical. But CJ, what do you think overall of this Charlotte track design?
I mean, the design looked good. The track just looked gnarly, whether it's from the rain or the ruts or whatever. But I mean, even there was even clips of, I don't know if you guys saw that clip of Jet going onto the step on. He looked like he was
Hmm.
like inches away from death. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's probably the most technical rider we have in the world right now. So, but otherwise, I mean, I thought the layout was cool. It just looked gnarly.
Yeah.
I think that's what we want to see though out of a track, to be gnarly
Yeah.
like that. And it wasn't one of those tracks where that rhythm section made them slow down. You could see guys checking up left and
Yep.
right to try to be smoother, and that's what we want to see. We don't want to see it to where everyone's doing the same exact rhythm. I think there's 3 or 4 different lines through that rhythm section that they were doing.
Yeah, and multiple guys. Even Eli Tomac said that was the gnarliest track he's ever ridden. He's like, even the outdoor track was way worse than any outdoor track that they rode on the circuit. So,
And
yeah,
I
Well,
heard
did you
those.
I saw Deegan made a comment too that said that they were like the gnarliest ruts that he's ever ridden in his life.
Yeah.
Well, did you see was it Matt Burkeen, his Insta or YouTube video and the pictures he posted after? Dude, the
Mm-mm.
track was after it rained or whatever and they canceled everything. He went and walked the track. Dude, that second moto would have been horrible. It looked like they already raced, 2 motos already on it.
Yeah, we can kind of get into it, before we get to the races. But yeah, I mean, the races, they ended up getting cut short. It sounded like they were trying to maybe change the track to where they didn't have to go in the outdoor spot. But it sounded like a lot of riders were kind of on the side of, hey, no, let's not go out there. I mean, I get it, right? Last thing you want is for them to go out there and get a DNF because their bike shuts off. But Justin, we'll start with you. I mean, how do you feel as far as the them just kind of cutting the motos and just doing the one overall?
I mean, I think it's kind of sucks, especially for how much we're supposed to hype up this playoffs and how big and important these races are supposed to be. I mean, at any point, most of those people are already in town, at least staying the night, Saturday night. Why can't we just run the second moto Sunday? I mean, I get you got to pack dirt in, pack dirt out, but I mean, one extra day you can start at noon or something like that. Give these guys a practice maybe in the morning or something, and then pretty much just start to show up with the 250 futures, and then do your second motos, and then there you go. You got your two motos. I think we definitely could have done that. So. I don't agree with the cancellation. I get the reason why the safety they cut it short on Saturday, but I think we should have done second moto Sunday.
Yeah, it sounds like I think it was Mike Mike that was on the Pulp Show. He talked about. I mean, he extended one more day. They have 3,200 employees. It's one more day of hotels. It's one more change of flights and stuff. So at the end of the day, it's a business decision. But CJ, what about you? What do you think of the them calling it?
I mean, it makes sense. Logistically, it's a nightmare to go another day. Like, yeah, as a fan, we all want to see them race what we were promised they were going to race. But I mean, logistically, I get it. Coming back the next day is probably, I mean, that's probably $1 million expense or something. It's some crazy fucking value on extending that for one day. And then who's to say they even have a TV slot or they can even do anything? I
Hmm.
mean, all that kind of stuff comes into play. So I mean, I get it. It sucks as a fan not being able to see it, and as a avid DraftKings better. I did not fare well this week on that. The one moto format crushed me. So
That
that that
wasn't that wasn't your problem in your bets this week, dude. That was your least of your worries.
yeah, the football bets didn't go so well, but my moto, I needed another moto to have a chance at my bets there. But I mean, I get it. I totally understand. I mean, somebody, I don't remember, one of the riders called in to Pulp or to one of the shows, and they basically, was it Forkner? Maybe it's Forkner or somebody, and they said they're like, at this point, we've been waiting for 4 hours. Everybody's gone
Hmm.
home. People at home aren't watching. Like, it's just a risk for us to even go out there. Just call the fucking race. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's even going to watch. We have 10% of the eyes that we normally would have. Like, why even risk it? And I kind of get it.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll get to the results, but you look at the results. I mean, honestly, that's kind of what you expected the overall was going to look like, anyways. The only guy that really got screwed was J Coop, because he went down. But I mean, everyone else kind of finished where you thought they would finish. So, yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, to me, it is what it is. Versus setting them out there and like an Indy has been kind of the reference where they're just rolling everything in the mud and someone misses out because because their bike goes down, or something like that. So no problem here. And it sounded like the real issue, yeah, the lightning delayed it, but they could have kept racing, but they just didn't have the lights to do it either, So that's kind of another step that they didn't prepare it, right? They said it cost them about $1 million to rent those lights, and that's why they did it in the daytime and weren't anticipating it. So, I mean, everything just kind of went against them. But hey, we head back into St. Louis, and weather's not going to be a
Am I
factor there,
frozen or
right?
you guys
We'll
frozen?
get to that track map later.
Hello?
But Justin, any other
What the fuck?
developing stories before we get into the racing?
I mean, do you want to
Can
talk
you hear
about
me?
injuries? I know you already mentioned Malcolm. Do
What's
you
going
want to
on here?
wait to talk about racing and qualifying, or do you want to get into that kind
No,
of
so
now?
we'll kind of go into because obviously, we talked about before. We saw a few guys hit the deck. Hammaker hit the deck, but the biggest one was Juju. Julian Bobera
Hmm.
ends up getting a burst fracture, and man, I mean, it sucks to see it. But I mean, this guy's almost kind of becoming the new Forkner. He's not winning as much, but man, ever since Supercross started going East Coast, man, it's just been downhill for him fast. And even when he's been out there, he hasn't looked good either.
Yeah, it's falling apart. I think he needs to just take a good reset and come out swinging for Supercross. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. He's had what, like 4 or 5 injuries or something like
Yep.
that since,
This is a big
kind of they
one
went
too.
East Coast. Yeah, it was a big one. I saw he's back in Havasu, so that's cool to see. He's out of the hospital now, so hopefully he heals up quick. But yeah, like you said, Hammaker took a pretty bad one. I was seeing a lot of guys that double coming across. A lot of people were coming up short on that double before you hit that big triple
Yep.
in the middle. I mean, I saw futures guys. I think I only saw like 4 futures guys make it through that double in practice.
Yeah.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Ken.
It's like
Oh,
a
Suzuki gang, dude.
it's like ripping wind. I don't know. It's like my Wi-Fi just stopped working, but it seems like it's working now. So
Yeah, you froze a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, you should be good. We were just talking about Julian Bobert, his big crash, and just kind of like how it's really gone downhill since Supercross went east. And I mean, this was a big one, and we're not sure if he's going to be able to bounce back from this one.
dude, that one seems gnarly. That like obviously not being him, it's hard to tell, but just them talking about it, like one of his vertebrae is like exploding.
Mm.
Like that's some stuff where I mean it could ruin your whole career. Like
Yeah,
that could be for one. I mean, look at Forkner with all the crashes he's had. How it just kind of it almost like puts a fear in the back of your head. Like will he ever be the same, even if he physically can ride, kind of thing.
yeah,
And I mean that's scary. And I saw the pictures he posted today of like the slice that he has in his back and shit. That's gnarly.
yeah. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see. And it wasn't going good. He was hitting the deck quite a bit. I know he had a big crash at what was it? Was it at Bud's
That's
Creek
Just a
where he
great.
week
got?
before, yeah.
Yeah, like he
Yeah.
just got hit hard there too. So I mean, the guys just kind of had a rough go at it. Well, going into the wild card results, we saw some big names. Ty Masterpool got the win. Max Anstey was second. Daxton Bennick, but we'll go into the motos. I mean, it was a great race, right? Deegan ends up getting the win. Hamburger gets a whole shot in what he ended up having about an 11-second lead over Deegan at one point. And Justin, we'll start with you. I mean, it was a great ride by Deegan, but a lot of people think that if Shimoda didn't go down, Shimoda was going to take that win.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Shimoda was ripping. He'd forced the issue way too early, a little early, and made that mistake and got dropped back. And I think he worked his way. What did he finish? Fourth, maybe third. I
Who?
know. I know he finished
Shimoda?
Shimoda. Yeah, he worked
Third.
his way up third. Yeah, so I mean, he worked his way all the way back up, and I think he was back in 12th when he got back up. So he definitely had the pace. He had some fast lines. He knew how to pass on that track, except for Hammaker. But
Yeah.
he was ripping, and it would have been good to see. I think him and Deegan would have put on a great show. Because I don't think Deegan was too far behind him when he did go down. So it would have been
Yeah.
good. It sucks that he did go down, but I mean, other than that, it was pretty much just watching Deegan catch up and see where Joe was going to finish.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. And CJ, over to you. Digging gets the win, comes back. What do you think? Do you think he's going to end up sweeping every overall, or do you think Joe or someone's going to take an overall from him?
I mean, it's hard to tell. I think it's hard to sweep these things till a lot of stuff happens. But I mean, like we've said before, I think he's the guy to do it. But I think Joe also smells like some blood in the water, and I think that we're seeing like a fired up Joe. I'm also impressed with Seth because he had a nasty get off,
Yeah, he
didn't he?
did. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
had a
he was like the
freaking
first one to
nasty ass
fall. I don't
crash.
know. I didn't think he was racing at
Yeah,
all.
I
And then
thought
I
for
saw him
sure
lined up. I was like, wait, what?
after seeing that crash, I was like, oh, there's no way. And then second place, I'm like, holy shit, I mean, those PC guys are just built out of fucking titanium, I guess. I don't know, it's crazy, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would like to see. It would be cool to see Joe and. I mean, the chances of us seeing all the good guys on one coast, we know that's not going to work. But if we could see like Joe and Deegan or something on one coast, it could make for a good year. I mean, it
Yeah.
seems like Joe is kind of. I don't know if it was some lingering finger shit from last year or what, but I don't know. It seems like he's in some pretty good form right now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in outdoors too. He started off red hot, kind of fell off there for a bit, and kind of fired it right back up. Um, then Justin, a couple guys that really kind of stood out. Austin Forkner with a fifth, Ryder D with a sixth. They both finished above Tom Vial. Of course, we know that there was a red flag incident with what involved all three PC guys because Marchbanks was the one that went down, and when it was Seth and Levi that jumped on the cross that got
Yeah.
penalized. So kind of for the trifecta there.
And did you hear the explanation behind that? It wasn't even on the jump. It was the jump after they had the red lights on. So,
Oh,
like,
yep.
when they were jumping in, the guy, I at first, because I was like, well, the freaking flagger's standing on the landing with the red cross flag. What is that going to do? So I thought it was that jump. I'm like, how are you supposed to see it if it's on the landing? But I guess
Yeah.
it's after that bowl turn coming back was they had red lights on that too. And that's where they got the penalty at. So
Yeah. Hmm.
I thought it was kind of a iffy kind of penalty, but I mean, they've been enforcing it, so you got to enforce it to everyone.
Yeah. CJ, what about you? Any other riders 250? Looking at the result, Cole Davies, he ends up getting an eighth. A lot of people thought that maybe he was going to come back and come out swinging, but yeah.
Yeah,
Anything else as far as the 250 class?
Yeah, Cole's the one that stood out for me. I mean, it's a little bit. I don't know. I mean, we obviously saw how his last he looked good in that last outdoor, and so you hope to see. And who knows? I don't know. The track seemed gnarly as hell too, so it's kind of really hard to tell. We'll see what happens, but I think everybody was at least. I mean, I totally thought if somebody was going to be digging, it was going to be Cole, and it didn't seem like that was even a question ever throughout the day. So I think that one's a little bit weird. I mean, Seth dying and coming back and getting second was awesome. So I don't know.
Are you sure? Are you sure that wasn't McAdoo riding in
Yeah, I know,
amateur
right?
here?
Pretty
And I
much.
saw they post that Marchbanks is all good and
Yeah, he'll be back
Oh,
this
that's
supposed to be
good.
weekend.
I
back
didn't.
this weekend.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's sweet. I didn't see that. You speaking on Davies? I don't think the track was Supercross enough for him. I still think he last
yeah,
that outdoor.
Well,
I think it was
his
too.
strengths are the whoops too, right? And
yeah.
the
Yeah,
whoops is going to hurt him.
I think this next week, I mean, we'll talk about it later, but I think this next week, Davies will have a lot more to show, I think, for that top speed.
Yeah. All right. Anything else 250s before we jump over into the 450s?
Masterpool won the wild card. That was about it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't really show up in the main when he ended up getting 10th. So,
Did they
um,
call it a wild card last year, or they just like is
no,
that
Yeah.
like
they
a
just changed it.
Or it
yeah? I
was
thought that
LCQ. It was
yeah,
LCQ.
that's like a
Yeah.
Yeah.
term that's like saying tranny these days. You can't change the name or what? Like it's
Yeah.
offensive to say
The,
LCQ or what the
the,
hell?
yeah, the furries were getting pissed about it, dude.
Yeah. I
I
guess
was
the
like,
way
I was
that,
like, wild card. What the hell is a wild card?
yeah, I guess they just changed it because I guess technically there can be guys, like, for example, like Jeremy Martin could go out and race because he won an outdoor moto. So technically he could
Uh,
qualify, even though, so I don't know why they changed it either. I thought it was kind of tough. I think the whole thing, they're trying to make it sound more playoffs, right? Playoffs, every
Yeah.
playoff has the wild
oh
card,
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
so I guess that's just another way to tie it in.
Yeah, I
I
just
heard
saw
they.
the post and
Oh, go ahead, CJ.
no, I was just saying, I just thought it was funny. I saw the post and I was like, oh shit, someone got offended by saying they raced the last chance qualifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that like for them to get enough people to fill up like the whole whatever gate. I don't know how many people are in the wild card. I don't remember, but dude, they were calling into the 40s and 50s of SMX combined points to get people to show up. Like I think some of Luke Neese or something like that was 58th or something like that on combined points, and they were calling all the way down there
Yeah.
just to get people to show up. But it's because a lot of these people, like their Supercross deals might be up already, or they don't, a lot of the privateers don't have the funding to get all the way to Charlotte. So
Yeah,
there's almost got to be something more enticing to get to where they're not digging into, the late 40s and 50s to get riders to show up. to try to make it
Well,
more of
that
that
and like, yeah,
premier.
there's good money in SMX, but like,
Mhm.
is there really good money for getting 25th? Like, probably not, or whatever it
Well,
is,
they still
20th.
get paid for being in the wild card race, but the real money they still have to make it. So, like for
Yeah,
example, but like this week there was 10 guys in the wild card race, and they took 7 of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
it
Because
got pretty odd, but
there's so many guys that are hurt that aren't even lining up either. Like exactly, like you got Max Anstey, Ty Masterful, Daxton Bennick, all in the LCQ. Like if you're a privateer, you're like, fuck, why am I going to show up to that?
yeah, right. I'm not
Yeah.
driving to Charlotte to go fucking race Max Anstey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we're
You
going
got
over into the 450 classes here. Surprising fastest qualifier, CJ. Chase Sexton comes back off the couch from getting hurt, and he goes out there and throws down a heater. I mean, you can't really ask for a better start than that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, if I'm surprised, he's captain qualifier in my book, but I don't know. I
But
mean, I'm
off the
not surprised by it.
couch,
I expect him. I expect him to be the fastest qualifier at 90% of the events. I mean, he's good. Like, don't get
yeah.
me wrong, the guy is good. He just I don't know, man. He's just softer than dog shit.
yeah, Justin. What about you? I mean, off the couch. Jet was out there. Hunter was out there. Jet even tried to match it, but Sexton still was able to pull it off. But it just comes to the question, man. It just is this move for Sexton going away from KTM good, or is Sexton just going to be good on regardless of what he's riding?
Yeah, I mean, it was really good to see. It makes me feel a lot better about MX Nations, of course, because we weren't sure what he was going to
Yeah,
do coming back out, and for him to come out and pretty much, I mean, it's just like where he was in Washougal. I mean, he jumped out there, and he was out there, and he won it overall. So,
yeah.
everyone knows Sexton has the speed. It's always A, like CJ said, is he going to be soft as dog shit, or B, is he just going to tuck the front? So you don't know what you're going to get. So. But he always has the speed. So
I
Well,
still think
go ahead.
I still think that it's tough. I mean, yeah, I think he's going to be fast on anything. He's like Jay. He's
Yeah,
going to be fast on any bike. But like, I still think it's crazy for him to get off that bike. I mean, he's won a title on it. He looks insanely fast on that KTM when he's riding it, and it's just still blows my mind. I mean, I hope he goes out there and he's just as good on a Kawasaki and we see good racing.
yeah.
But dude, it's hard for me to believe that he's going to be as good on that thing. Like he rides that KTM well.
Dude, a lot of people are saying that the Kawasaki is one of the best bikes to ride in Supercross
Oh fuck,
because the
who
cornering is
knows?
so
Maybe
good,
for
and I mean that's probably where he needs it most is the stability there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
do you
We'll
think the
get to Tuck in the
financial
front because
struggles?
another top rider.
Do you think the financial struggles of KTM kind of maybe scared Sexton away? Maybe that was part of his reason of wanting to go to Cali. Maybe.
No, I don't. I don't think so. I think those guys are kind of running as their own business. I mean, they got Tomac coming over. They got AP. They're willing to pay Vial to ride there too. So, no, I think probably cutting back on what the Husky or the Gas team, whatever one they're letting go. I'm sure they're taking a little bit from that budget to help cover other expenses too. Going into the 450 wild card, Cody Schock ended up getting the win. Kind of the same situation. There were 12 riders in this one, and they took the top 7. Derek Drake missed out. Kyle Chiz, he missed out too. But Dean Wilson kind of makes a surprise and qualifies into the main event. But Justin, we'll start out with you. 450 Moto 1, the only moto. What surprised you?
That fact that I think everyone we wanted to see to start up front started up front. I mean, we already have all the 5
Yeah.
fastest guys up front. I mean, I don't think we ever really get to see that. And to see that, I was really stoked. And they didn't really pull away from each other. We had a pack of 5 guys that they're pretty much all within 4 seconds or something like that. So it was really good to see. But then Jet just did what Jet does. So
Yeah, and then speaking of Jet, CJ, the track was gnarly. It just seemed like he rode to whatever pace he had to. If those guys were going to
Yeah.
apply pressure on him, and I think they showed like on lap 6, all the top five guys who did on their fastest lap all at the same time, and later on they all did the slowest lap at the same time. So, I mean, like Justin said, Jet just did what he did. He just managed the race and kept that 2 to 3 second lead, and he basically tried to force these guys to go after him.
Yeah, and I think when you get like the absolutely gnarly tracks like this, it really separates the men from the boys, and the cream of the crop rises, and I think that's what you see when it's him. Like when it's that gnarly, I think he's able to just go out there and like he's just so technically sound that it almost looks effortless. Like that everyone's talking about how it's the gnarliest track ever, and he still looks like Jet. Like he still looks like he's just like
cruising around.
I don't know, yeah, like he's fucking looking around, like he's like I don't know. It's like it's just I just think that when it comes to I think he's almost better when it's that technical.
Yeah. I think everything just comes so slow motion to him compared to
Yeah.
everyone else. At least that's what it looks like. I mean, these guys look like they're
Especially
struggling with this track, and this guy just seems like he's just, dissecting it, inch by inch.
Well, especially with like Jet, he just stands up through everything. I mean, watching him through those deep
Yeah.
ruts, he just looks like it's effort. It almost looks like he's on like a BMX bike or something, just like rolling it through a corner like it's nothing. And it's like
Yeah.
must be nice.
Well, the way he hops over, like the way he like he'll turn and just go over the top of ruts and shit is kind of fucking wild. Like
Yeah.
you don't see that from other people. Like
How they'll just
he'll
cut
just go
across him.
pivot and just fucking go
Yep.
over 15 ruts. It's like what the
Yep.
hell?
Yeah, I mean,
What the
why
hell?
not, right? So
Yeah,
it works. But speaking of Justin, you love throwing out the term "tuck in the front." Your boy Eli
I was
Tomac
waiting
There
tucked
we
in the
go.
for
front
it. I was waiting
again,
for it.
trying to chase Jet. And I'm just saying, when is it gonna stop, or what's going on, Justin?
I don't know what to say about that, but hey, he looked good. That's all I gotta say. He looked good tucked in the front. At least
he
he
looked
wasn't tucked in.
good.
Yeah, at least he wasn't. Hey, at least he wasn't leading the race tucked in the front. So at least he's putting
That's
in some
right. Well,
effort.
because he
You can say
can't.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jet's a
I,
little hard
I
to
dude,
get in front
I
of him.
did feel good knowing that he looks good out there though. Like
Yeah.
he looked good. Like I was worried after outdoors and obviously, he got third all the time and he looked like he still knows how to ride, but it's like, hey, is he gonna get just kind of fall off and not be more like a Ken Roxon or Barsha type
Yeah.
of deal or but he still looks like he's fucking good. So I
Yeah.
still think at the like do I think he's gonna go out there and just be the fastest guy and win all these races? No, but I think given the right situations and a good start, like I think he can definitely still win races.
He looked
Yeah.
fired
No, I
up.
agree. I
He
mean,
had
it
that
was good.
aggression.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good to see him out there, and yeah, he got some thirds in outdoors, but those thirds were 30, 40 seconds back. This
Yeah, yeah,
he was well
7
in the mix. I mean,
seconds.
he was second for the longest time. But yeah, it was good to see him have some fight. I think this next track's really going to tailor well to him. But yeah, I mean, to me, I just think if Eli's going to win, it's got to be like we've seen in outdoors. He's got to get the whole shot. He's got to just go and just kind of check out and just try to get these guys
yeah.
to catch him. We've seen him before with the traffic. It just doesn't seem like he's going to be able to make his way up through the pack and
Do you
pass
think?
whoever's leading.
Do you guys think that Yamaha, like Star? Do you think it's a rider thing, or do you think Star maybe doesn't have like the whole start situation figured out as well as like Honda and KTM do? Because how the fuck can even Deegan doesn't start very well. Like he's fast and he wins, but he's not a great starter. Eli's fast enough to win, but he started like shit this last year.
Yeah.
Like, do you think like the way that they all start now, where they all put it in a certain gear and they just fucking hold it wide open at whatever the thing is programmed to do? Like, do you think maybe they don't have it dialed in like the
Yeah.
other teams do, or what?
Well,
It
I
has
think
to,
that's the
because if you
whole
look at Honda,
thing. Like
Hunter gets a lot of whole shots. Jet gets a lot of whole shots. And even
Yeah.
Shimoda too. So yeah, to me, I think they do. They got some kind of secret sauce over there, and they've got that bike dialed for the starts. Justin,
Well,
what were we saying?
that was the whole thing. Like Pope was talking about why he wanted to do that whole
Yeah.
shot challenge was because he's like the
Mhm.
Honda, the starts, and I think it has to do. I think what is it Get by Athena or something like that? Does all their ECU and
Yeah.
everything like that. I'm like they definitely have a start map that they have dialed in that no one can touch right now. It's just. I mean, you can like
It's
Pope
just
was
you
trying to
think
say,
that-
you can just hold that thing wide open and literally you just go.
Mhm.
And that's what that's what it seems like. Yeah, I mean, I think you're at a weird fucking. You talk about Fat Boy Pulp trying to go out there and do it is a different question, but I think when you have guys that are at that high skill level, we're talking like, I mean, just fractions of a fucking reaction type deal.
Yeah.
I think it just seems like that. I don't know. It's just I'm just throwing that out there because it almost seems like the star guys they can get a good start. Like maybe Jet did flinch a little bit or whatever, and
Yeah.
they do end up getting a good start. But yeah, far and away, the fucking Honda guys are just smoking the starts.
Well, also one thing to consider too, Jet is probably one of the scrawniest guys out there in the 450
Yeah,
class compared to Sexton. Tomac, Hunter, kind of the same thing. He's built a little bit more, so it could be that too. They're the lightest
yeah,
there, and Deegan, I don't know. Deegan, I think we've seen Deegan get great starts. We've seen him shoot out
yeah.
like
He
a cannon,
does.
but they're just not the consistency. Like I think he actually had the chance of getting the whole shot in this race, but with the
He
funky
backed
start
out.
that it did, he ended up kind of messing him up. Yeah.
Well,
I
But
did
yeah, I
like
mean,
that
that could
start though.
be.
What did you think? Did you guys
I
talk
think
about the start already? What did you think about that?
no, I think that right
No,
side
not
definitely
yet.
had that right side had an advantage. Like from TV view, the right side, you could easily tell they're coming in a lot faster. It almost was like a quarter second, it looked like maybe faster. But you got to think their first turn, I mean, their rear brake's on the right side. So, you're going to corner through that corner a little bit faster, anyways. And it kind of give them a better angle where it meets up at to make that next corner. So I think that
I
Dude,
right
think it
I
side
was that
definitely
thought
had a little
second, the
advantage.
second bank is what really made the difference. Because if you're on the outside and you're hitting that, you're banking, it's going to push you back out. So you can go on the inside,
yeah.
you're going to bounce in,
Yeah.
and then you're going to try to go in again.
Dude,
Yeah.
I thought Tomac and Jet were gonna come together.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that
Me
those
too.
two, I thought they were gonna fucking come together.
Dude, they were
I like
close.
that
Yeah.
kind of shit. I like when they can make split lanes make sense. Like sometimes they
Yeah.
make them and they suck, and one of them's way faster. But I think it's super fucking cool to see them do that, do their own thing, and then they come back together and they're still
Yeah.
right there. Like
Well,
I don't know. I
remember
thought it was cool, but I thought
Ve-
Tomac and Jet were gonna hit each other.
Vegas and Monster Cup the one year? Remember when they had the gate malfunction, but they
Yeah,
had the split starts and they came all the way down Thunder Alley into the stadium, hit the ski jump, and then met? Like, that was sick, dude. 'Cause you got them on both sides of the
yeah,
stadium, 10th, fifth year.
Yeah, and I guess what they should have done is in Moto 2 they should have made them swap. Because I guess in
yeah,
Monster Cup
Mm-hmm.
they used to do that. One race you were
Yep.
here, the next one they had to do it. But I guess there was no plans to do that. So the top 10 fast guys are always going to be on that right side and everyone
whatever
else. So
side they wanted. Yeah,
one thing to consider in the next time if they are going to do it, fucking make them swap and see if they can do
yeah,
it from both sides.
Yeah,
that
I
makes
think you
sense.
have
Yeah,
to
if
do
you're
that,
gonna,
especially two motos. Like you have to. It's only right, especially if. Yeah, I think that you just have to, no matter what, because every road's different. Everything you don't know, so yeah, you got to swap, make it fair.
Yeah. And then another thing in the 450, in the mid main, some nasty windstorm comes blowing through. Dude, Tomac's going around Burns with tough blocks in the middle. These guys are trying to just fly straight over these triples, and then the fat storm came through, and that was all she wrote. But just anyone else stand out to you? I mean, RJ Hampshire, he gets a fifth. I mean, he's continuing the momentum from outdoors. That was really surprising. I mean, he beat Ken Roxon, Cooper Webb, so a couple of respectable names. But Justin, what else stood out to you with the 450s?
Uh, I was gonna say RJ, and Roxon. I mean, it was good to see Roxon back up there. He's coming off of that knee surgery or whatever he had. So it's cool always to see Roxon back up there. Just watching Roxon ride, his technique and his style, it's just so cool to watch. And then I was just thinking Dylan Ferrandis. I mean, the last few weeks it seems like he's been, pretty consistent, like a 7 to 9 guy, and it's been really quiet. No one's been talking about it really. So I think it's cool to see Ferrandis throwing his name back up there because after he won his title with Star, on the 450, it just went downhill from him there. So it's cool to see him kind of getting back
Yep.
back up there and throwing his name in that.
Yeah, and then CJ, you missed it earlier, but no Prado this weekend or any weekends coming up. What's going on with your guy?
my guy, he's
Your
probably
boy,
fucking back at
dude.
home. He's probably got him. He's got Vial in his suitcase and he's on a fucking plane somewhere. Yeah, I don't, dude.
Oh.
Whatever. That shit's crazy. Props to Cowie for coming out and kind of like saying something like
Yeah.
professionally. And I wish they would have fucking thrown a little more shade than they did. But I'm stoked that they actually said something. I don't know, dude. It pisses me off. Everything about Prado pisses me off. But yeah, I mean, RJ for me, I was honestly surprised by. I thought Roxon was going to do better personally.
Yeah.
After Roxon's when he came out outdoors and how good he looked in that first moto, I thought Roxon was going to come out in form like where he looks like he could win motos
Yeah.
and win races in Supercross. I think he's got a little ways to go. I honestly was surprised by that. Cooper Webb doesn't really surprise me. He's one of those guys that he never really shows up until he absolutely has to.
Well, he just
And
came off his injury too. I think
yeah,
he has
and he
3 weeks on the bike.
He'll
yeah,
see
he
us
doesn't
in
really surprise me.
Supercross.
Like I think Yeah, exactly. It is fucking half Supercross. Who gives a shit type
Hmm.
Yeah.
deal. Like he doesn't really care. Like,
He already made a million
but
this year.
RJ was sick. Yeah, but RJ, dude. I'm stoked for RJ. I'm excited for Supercross because I think he could be like a top 5 guy in Supercross.
No, I think so too. I mean, think about who we mentioned that's going to come back. AP, he'll probably be battling with AP
Anderson.
a lot. Maybe Malcolm too. Well, I mean, who knows what Anderson's even riding? He might be riding the bike behind CJ actually.
Yeah,
But we don't know what he's riding. Barsha probably in the mix. So yeah, I mean, RJ very well could be battling for that 5, 7, 8. Week in, week out. I don't know if a podium is really going to be in the cards for him. He might have to have everything go his way.
yeah. He needs some
But
help. I think.
Daytona or
I mean,
something like that,
for his
maybe.
rookie season, I just want to see him survive all 17 rounds. It'll be the first time he's doing every round
But
too.
it's crazy, dude, because like it's almost like that's he's almost changing that narrative on the 450. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
obviously we'll have to see him through Supercross, but I mean through outdoors, he never looked like the old RJ on that
Yeah,
450. Like he looked fucking like a vet, dude. Look,
yeah.
he looked in control. He looked.
I think with
We didn't see that
RJ,
through the whole season.
A
I
lot
think
of
RJ on
250
that.
guys say that,
Okay.
right? They have better on the 450 and better on a 450, and RJ's showing that. Yeah, he actually is. Go ahead,
I
Justin.
just I just think RJ that like on the 250 to be fast on a 250, you have to go full balls to the wall and literally ride that 250 to the absolute max to
Hmm.
hang out with some of these kids. I think the 450 just suits him better. He doesn't have to ring it fully out and he can still go faster, but he's not on the very edge, so maybe it keeps him down, keeps him from all those crashes and those, big mistakes because he's not pushing it to the absolute max.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. All right,
Hey,
well,
what do
let's
you
go into just kind of look
Hey,
at the
I got
track layout. Oh, go
one more
ahead.
person for 450. Valentin Guillot, the first time riding any track, racing any track that's got Supercross in it. He's
Yeah,
only got about like 5 days of Supercross, and he goes 14th. So I thought that's pretty.
yeah.
Never riding Supercross before and finishing 14th, pretty good.
Was he the one that signed with Partzilla? I thought I heard
I don't know if he
he got
signed
to
with
ride with the
Conzilla.
Kawasaki team. Is that who it
I
is?
I don't know. I know he's got more support from Rock River at least for SMX and everything like that. So I don't know. I'd have to double check. I know Hunter Yoder's going to club
I thought
though.
he maybe it was PRMX. Maybe that's what it was. PRMX. I think maybe that's at
I'll
least that's
look.
what I thought I heard. Um, but yeah, so looking at this track map, I mean, it's definitely going to be a little bit more supercrossy. But if you look at this, I mean, it's not very technical. It's pretty wide open. A lot of people are saying it's going to be fast. They go into the stadium. No idea what that's going to look like. But CJ, we'll start with you. I think this is where we're going to see that Ken Roxon that we were kind of expecting. I think that track this past weekend was pretty nasty, and a lot of guys are like, "I'm good. I'm not gonna throw it away in this round one. The next 2 rounds are double and triple points." But who knows? We might see a little bit of a shakeup with this one because weather's not going to be a factor, and it is going to be more Supercross style.
Yeah, and when it's, I think those fast paced tracks reminds me more of like the West Coast stuff, like
Hmm.
Glendale, like tracks like that, and those tracks. So I think we see people like that do good at those tracks, like Ken. I mean, Kenny notoriously is good in Glendale. Eli does good there. Those Eli always is riding these tracks at his house that are just ridiculously fast. That's what everybody says is
Yeah,
like his track at his house is like scary how fast that you have to go around that track, which he says he likes to do because it slows the race down when he races.
yeah,
But I don't know. I
it's
think that's what I think. I think that those guys that are good on the West Coast, obviously Jet and all those fucking guys are going to be good, but I think it could play into like Roxon or even Cole Davies. Cole Davies looked really good
yeah.
on those more West Coast rounds. So
Yeah, Justin, I mean, we'll see at St. Louis. I mean, I think St. Louis might, develop some good ruts, but it's a long track, right? So they're not going to be doing as many laps on it. And there's a lot of sand on this track, too. But who do you think? Who do you looking to kind of maybe make a bounce back in St. Louis?
Uh, with it being so super crossy, I'm like you said, I'm really interested to see what they do when they go in because I know they have the convention center like connected to it. So I wonder if they're going more into it than just doing a U-turn in there. So that might play into a factor of what else that could be done. But I like the Roxon. I think Roxon, this is kind of like a sneaky Roxon track, kind of fast, like CJ saying the Glendale. I think it's going to suit even like maybe Tomac. But the sand's going to be, I think, a big problem for a lot of the guys. But it depends how thick it gets. How it might be one of those weak sand sections, or if it's any type of sand like it was in that one corner this weekend at the drag strip, it's going to be gnarly for them. Davies should be really good, I think. Just like I said earlier, to be more Supercross style, see what he can do. And I think the track might get a little deep because I think St. Louis normally has some pretty soft dirt. So I think we're gonna have great racing. It's just a tease of what we've been missing in Supercross. So I just love Supercross so much.
Yeah, and I'm interested. I want to see Garrett Marchbanks do a bounce back. Obviously, he looked great in outdoors, and I kind of want to see him back on more of a Supercross style and track. Well, but is anything else as far as Charlotte?
Not for Charlotte,
No. All right. Well,
What
before
do you
we
think
cut out,
about
I do want to
Kitchen?
say one thing.
What do you think
What's
about
that?
Kitchen? What do you think about how Kitchen's gonna do
You
on
do
this
this
type of
every
track?
time, Justin.
I know I was trying to
Anything on
cut you off
Charlotte?
before you
Nope, I'm
said
good.
it.
All
It
right. Hey,
wasn't.
what about
It wasn't about Charlotte. It's about St. Louis.
uh, as far as what kitchen we're gonna get in St. Louis?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I got to see a different version of Kitchen than what we've seen all year long. I mean, I want to see him get a good start. I want to see him lead laps. That's when we know he can win. But honestly, I don't even remember the last time he led laps, to be honest. It does sound like he's recovering from that Daytona crash still. Seems like that's still kind of eating at him a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. He's got to show me some at this point because to me he's not quite fallen down into a Forkner, but we did have some pretty high expectations for Kitchen, and he hasn't really been close to those.
Yep.
But yeah. All right. Well, before we close it out, I did want us to kind of talk about, unfortunate, event happened with Charlie Cook today. It's kind of shitty that this is kind of the world that we live in. Obviously we're on a podcast. All we do is kind of voice our opinions, kind of say what we have, and that's never going to be a good enough reason to go out and kill someone. So, just want to shout out Charlie Kirk, his family. Tragedy. It's something that we'll remember for the rest of our lives. But yeah, CJ, Justin, I'll leave it to you guys to close it out. Anything for Charlie?
I think
Yeah, no,
just
I
thoughts
mean,
it. Oh, good.
rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, man. Because that's he whether you had opposing beliefs or not, it's just it's crazy. I mean, the guy just went out there. He had respectful debates with people, and whether you have an opposing opinion or not, the fact that you have to worry about if you're going to go home to your kids or your wife, and I mean, everyone saw the video. Like that, that was a absolutely bizarre thing, and that happened in the United States of America is insane. And I mean, nothing but prayers for him and his family, and it's tragedy for sure. Hopefully, they
Yeah,
find that fucking piece of shit that did it.
yeah, still on the loose. Justin?
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to his family and everyone involved and affected by that. I mean, it just sucks that you can't even have a civil debate with anyone, that people get so upset, and it's like their way or the highway. It's like literally to the point to where they'll go kill an innocent man just because he thinks different, looks different, whatever. They're just killing people just because. I mean, he just did educate. I mean, he's going to these colleges, to see what the young kids, what they think, how they're thinking. He has very civil debates, and it just sucks that it got to this point that someone really thought that this was a good idea and actually had the balls to do this, because it's horrible to see. You never wish to see it ever, especially on how it was broadcast and everyone saw it, and with the power of social
Hmm.
media, like it's just so devastating, like for his family, like that's out there forever. You're never gonna not think about it. And I think we'll always remember where we're at when we found out, and I mean, we talk
Hmm.
about it. We were talking about it in our group chat. Like we were shocked. We couldn't believe it, like we couldn't believe something like this could happen. So thoughts and prayers. And yeah, hopefully, like CJ said, they catch him. And I mean, they should just publicly, execute him, That we just need to bring that back to send a message. Like, this ain't allowed. This ain't cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Prayers to you and your family. But that is it for this week's episode. Short episode, right? I mean, we got half the races, so we have the things to talk about, but we're going to be back in St. Louis. We're going to have two motos. We're gonna have some good topics coming in, but thanks for listening. Give us a follow, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, but we will see you next week. Later.
Later.